Under the scorching sun of ancient Mesopotamia, a harsh reality unfolds: the dawn of slavery in early civilizations. Etched in stone and inscribed on clay, the somber legacy of human bondage echoes through the ages. Under the scorching sun, the relentless landscape of ancient Egypt bears witness to the suffering of enslaved people. Sweat-soaked bodies glisten as enslaved people endure the brutal toil, their movements dictated by the cruel rhythm of whips. Massive pyramids loom against the horizon, silent monuments to the endless labor and the crushing weight of oppression. Shackled and exhausted, prisoners pull heavy stones, their spirits crushed under the burden of forced servitude. The stark reality of slavery in ancient Egypt flashes across the screen, a chilling reminder of human exploitation. A vibrant tableau of pre-colonial African societies unfolds, revealing complex systems of servitude under the radiant sun. Caravans, laden with human cargo, traverse the unforgiving sands, each step a testament to endurance and despair. The desert becomes a silent witness to the suffering, its endless expanse mirroring the captive's unending journey. Under the unforgiving glare of the sun, the Islamic market becomes a stage for the reenactment of the Arab slave trade's most brutal acts. In the heart of the market, young boys endure unspeakable horrors as women, their spirits crushed, are paraded away to a life of servitude. Boats, heavy with human cargo, traverse the Red Sea, each voyage a harrowing journey into the depths of despair and exploitation. The echoes, the brutality of the Arab slave trade. Against the backdrop of the African coast, the sails of Portuguese ships cut through the horizon, heralding the dawn of a new era. The arrival of the Europeans, marked by the exchange of goods and curious glances, hints at fortunes and fates yet to be written. Under the blazing African sun, a kingdom becomes a stage for a grim transaction where African royalty trades lives for the cold, hard power of European guns. Slave markets overflow with desperate faces, their silent pleas echoing the weight of humanity traded for metallic death. Guns gleam menacingly as they change hands, each transaction sealing a pact of betrayal and a legacy of sorrow. A stark declaration pierces the silence. African complicity, a haunting accusation that echoes across the sands of time. Deep within the slave ship, shadows dance with the cries of despair, painting a harrowing portrait of the Middle Passage. Chained bodies intertwine with the ship's timbers, each link a testament to lost freedoms and shattered dreams. The relentless ocean batters the hull, each crash echoing the agony and relentless suffering of those aboard. The Middle Passage, a voyage of horror. Under the relentless Haitian sun, enslaved Africans surge forth in a desperate uprising against Napoleon's iron grip. Amidst the chaos of battle, fierce resistance movements ignite, challenging the might of a colonial power. Resistance and rebellion. The sun beats down, casting long shadows across the chaotic battlefield, a silent witness to the struggle for freedom. A powerful montage ignites across the globe, showcasing the relentless fight against modern slavery and human trafficking. Modern slavery. Beneath the relentless sun, ancient drawings on weathered stone echo tales of labor and conquest, whispering secrets of a forgotten era. Sumerian clay tablets emerge as silent witnesses, revealing the intricate dance of transactions and ownership that shaped a civilization. In the bustling heart of ancient markets, the vibrant tapestry of barter and trade unfolds, as fortunes are exchanged and destinies intertwined. In the shadows of progress, shackled prisoners toil under the scorching sun, their faces etched with the despair of a life stolen, their bodies bearing the weight of a civilization built on suffering. Under the relentless sun of ancient China, a panorama of forced labor and enslavement unfolds. Countless souls bear the weight of exhaustion and despair, their faces etched with the agony of ceaseless toil. Historical reenactments and illustrations resurrect the brutal realities of life, revealing the era's unforgiving cruelty. Under the relentless sun of ancient India, dusty roads carve through villages where the parched earth mirrors the people's weary existence. Beneath the weight of tradition, a brutal caste system casts a long shadow, perpetuating servitude and despair. The very air hangs heavy with the burden of tradition and the bitter taste of oppression. In the thriving African kingdoms of Mali, Songhai, and Benin, life pulses with untouched vibrancy. Against a backdrop of traditional architecture and lush landscapes, the heart of African village life beats strong. In the vibrant African royal court, a new dawn breaks as former slaves are welcomed into families. In a monumental shift, the chains of bondage loosen as property ownership is gradually bestowed upon them. Beneath the scorching sun, endless caravans crawl across the Sahara, each step a testament to survival. Arab traders, their eyes as sharp as the desert wind, oversee the arduous march of slaves, their faces etched with exhaustion and despair. Mirages dance on the horizon, mocking the parched throats and weary spirits of those who dare to cross this unforgiving realm. In the heart of an Arabian market, vibrant colors and exotic scents mask a dark underbelly. The brutal reality of slave auctions unfolds. Men, women, and children are paraded before callous eyes, their fates hanging in the balance as they are sold to the highest bidder. In a shadowed corner, unspeakable horrors unfold as young boys are subjected to the brutal act of castration, their cries drowned out by the market's clamor. The faces of the suffering, capturing the raw emotions of despair, fear, and resignation that permeate the air. Upon the boundless expanse of the Indian Ocean, vessels slice through the cerulean waves, their sails swollen with the breath of cruel destiny. These ships, burdened with human cargo, traverse the oceanic veins of a heartless trade. Aged maps unfurl, tracing the serpentine routes of commerce that crisscross this oceanic highway of tears. Against the vast expanse of the African coast, Portuguese ships emerge, their sails full with destiny as they cut through the waves. Eager sailors step onto the foreign soil, their gazes sweeping across the land, a blend of anticipation and trepidation etched on their faces. With calculated precision, makeshift trading posts rise along the shore, adorned with shimmering gold, exotic spices, and prized ivory. In a delicate dance of first contact, curiosity and wariness intertwine as the Portuguese and local Africans meet, their futures hanging in the balance. Under the relentless sun, plantation scenes unfold, casting long shadows over endless rows of crops. Colonial settlements buzz with activity, yet a palpable sense of urgency and demand permeates the air. The sun beats down, reflecting off tools and sweat, as the relentless pace of labor intensifies the underlying tension. Under the merciless sun, dust devils dance across the slave market, where African royalty barter lives for gleaming European guns. Adorned in vibrant robes and heavy gold, they stand as merchants of despair, trading lives for weapons of destruction. Bound captives stand as silent witnesses, their faces reflecting the agony of shattered dreams and stolen futures. Gleaming under the sun, European guns symbolize the brutal price of freedom, casting long shadows over the broken spirits of the local people. The air is thick with the stench of sweat and fear, a palpable testament to the inhumanity unfolding under the watchful gaze of the sun. In their hollow eyes and broken spirits, the devastating impact on the local populations is etched for eternity. The slave ship is filled with the suffocating stench of despair, where each breath is a reminder of stolen freedom. Chains rattle like mournful spirits, their echoes intertwining with the anguished moans of captive souls. In the suffocating darkness, the rocking vessel becomes a tomb, sealing their fate. Under the scorching sun, the endless ocean becomes a silent witness to the atrocities of the Middle Passage. In a heart-wrenching display, bodies are cast into the depths, swallowed by the unforgiving waves. The rhythmic creaks of the slave ship echo the despair and cultural erasure. The ocean waves and somber reenactments serve as haunting reminders of death and cultural obliteration. Under the scorching Haitian sun, enslaved Africans rise as one, their eyes blazing with the unquenchable fire of freedom. In a maelstrom of steel and fury, the enslaved clash against Napoleon's forces, each blow struck echoing their desperate cry for liberation. Fueled by generations of suffering, the spirit of rebellion ignites the battlefield, turning the soil crimson with the blood of defiance. They fight for freedom. In the heart of Brazil, a storm of rebellion erupts, casting a shadow of fear over the land of slaveholders. Uprisings ignite like wildfire, signaling a desperate fight for freedom against oppression. Resistance movements surge, painting a vivid tableau of defiance against the chains of servitude. Under the African sun, the spirit of resistance ignites through the figures of Queen Nzinga and Samori Toure. These women were brave, strong leaders. They fought legendary battles and held strategic meetings. They gathered their people, giving them unwavering courage. Activists march with unwavering resolve, their signs held high, each step resonating with a shared dream of humanity restored. In classrooms and community centers, seeds of empathy are sown, blossoming into a garden of understanding and compassion. The historical archive whispers tales of a dark past, with documents and artifacts serving as silent witnesses to the history of slavery. Ancient records reveal the harsh realities of slavery, as each page turned echoes with the cries of the oppressed. Maps, etched with the roots of human suffering, serve as a chilling reminder of the journeys endured by enslaved peoples. The African village pulsates with life, a vibrant tapestry of farming, crafting, and joyful play, showcasing a community's unyielding prosperity. A stark, harrowing transformation unfolds as the shadow of the slave trade descends, scarring the village with empty huts and shattered lives. Fear and despair etch themselves onto the faces of the remaining villagers, their eyes reflecting the unspeakable horrors inflicted upon their home. Chains and shackles, scattered across the ravaged ground, serve as a haunting testament to the brutal legacy of enslavement. In the bowels of the slave ship, the air is a suffocating blend of sweat, fear, and disease, a grim testament to human suffering. The stench of vomit and excrement permeates the air, mingling with the echoes of low moans and desperate cough. Under the scorching sun, endless fields stretch, bearing witness to the relentless toil of enslaved laborers. Each labored breath and strained movement echoes the depths of exhaustion and despair. The overseers, like shadows of oppression, cast their watchful gaze, ensuring the continuation of suffering. The crack of whips slices through the air, a brutal symphony of inhumanity. Scars narrate silent stories of brutality and resilience, etched deep into the skin of the enslaved. Inside the European court, the weight of history and moral reckoning hangs heavy as decisions regarding the slave trade are contemplated. Amidst the solemn chamber, political maneuvers and cold economic calculations intertwine, obscuring the human cost of the slave trade. The gravity of the situation is palpable as each decision echoes through the halls of justice, forever altering the fate of countless lives. In the heart of the resistance camp, enslaved people huddle, their destinies etched in maps drawn in the sand, the air thick with anticipation. As tensions rise, the enslaved people prepare for the inevitable clash, sharpening crude weapons. A distant horn shatters the tense calm, signaling the imminent arrival of their oppressors, and a cloud of dust heralds chaos. With hearts pounding, the enslaved people seize their arms, their faces grim as they brace for the brutal confrontation that awaits them. The resistance camp erupts into a maelstrom of fury and desperation as a fierce battle breaks out. Their fight for freedom begins. In a room overflowing with fervent spirits, banners boldly declare, "End slavery now," as the air crackles with anticipation. Echoing through the hall, impassioned pleas ignite the hearts of those yearning for freedom. In hushed tones, activists unite, weaving strategies with unwavering resolve. In the broad light of day, the hidden scourge of human trafficking casts a long shadow over the modern world. Urgent awareness campaigns emerge as beacons of hope, piercing through the darkness with messages of freedom and justice. Amidst the chaos, brave rescue operations unfold, offering a lifeline to those trapped in the shadows. Under the relentless sun of ancient Sumer, the enslavement of debtors unfolds amidst a landscape of clay tablets and unspoken despair. In a marketplace teeming with life, the echoes of bartering and trade mask the silent suffering of those bound by debt, their fates sealed under the watchful eyes of unyielding guards. Stern-faced guards stand as silent sentinels, their gazes piercing through the crowd, symbolizing the crushing weight of authority and the loss of freedom. Under the relentless Babylonian sun, a city teems with life as cuneiform tablets declare the law. In a heart-wrenching scene, a family's despair is palpable as their child is taken, their silent cries lost in the city's clamor. The father's gesture is a mix of desperation and surrender as he watches his child disappear into the crowd. Caravans of human souls inch across the barren terrain, their forms dwarfed by the immense, unforgiving expanse, under a sky full of silent witnesses. Each step echoes with the silent screams of generations, a haunting reminder etched into the very fabric of the land. Bathed in the golden light of the African sun, a vibrant household awakens, where laughter and labor intertwine to weave a tapestry of unity and hope. With gentle patience, a woman of profound wisdom guides a newly freed girl in the timeless art of grinding millet, a symbolic rhythm of integration echoing through the household. Side by side, men from different pasts unite in shared labor, their hands shaping wood and mending tools, blurring the lines of bondage and freedom. The air is filled with the rich aroma of spices as a communal meal simmers over an open fire, a fragrant promise of nourishment and belonging. Amidst the vibrant chaos, merchants' voices soar above the crowd as they hawk their wares. The faces of slaves, etched with despair, are paraded through the streets, their bodies coldly assessed by those seeking to exploit them. The air hangs heavy with a mixture of exotic spices, human sweat, and the palpable tension of exploitation, creating an atmosphere of both allure and oppression. On the shores of coastal Africa, an era of exchange dawns as European ships anchor near newly erected trading posts. The air vibrates with the unspoken promise of new beginnings as cultures meet and futures intertwine. Inside the European Trading Company, maps of distant lands and stacks of daunting documents lay strewn across a mahogany table, hinting at the vast reach of their ambition. Under the somber light, men in powdered wigs and dark coats gather, their expressions grim as they dissect figures and calculations with cold calculation. The air is thick with the weight of decisions that will shape continents, fortunes measured in ink and ambition etched in every furrowed brow. Upon the horizon, slave ships emerge, cutting through the tranquil waters towards the Caribbean island. As the ships dock, a human tide of enslaved people begins to disembark onto the sun-drenched shores, their weary bodies bearing the weight of untold suffering. The island, once a paradise, now echoes with the silent cries of those forced to leave their homes, their dreams, and their freedom behind. Sunlight pierces through the grand windows, casting a golden glow on the lavish furnishings of the plantation owner's opulent abode. Each piece of furniture whispers tales of prosperity and power, silently attesting to the owner's dominion over the land and its people. The very air seems thick with the weight of history and the unspoken stories of those who toil under the sun to maintain this extravagant lifestyle. Each step is a burden, each breath a struggle, as the enslaved move with the weight of oppression pressing down on their weary souls. Supervisors lurk like shadows, their eyes piercing and unforgiving, symbols of the unyielding power that binds these souls to the earth. In the heart of the Underground Railroad, a labyrinth of secret passages stretches into the unknown, where shadows dance in the dim light. Faint light flickers from oil lamps, casting haunting shadows on the rough-hewn walls. The air hangs heavy with the scent of damp earth and hushed anticipation, a silent testament to the journey ahead. In the solemn courtroom, sunbeams cut through the air, highlighting the gravity of the proceedings. Before a stern-faced judge, the attorneys in powdered wigs deliver their arguments. Voices tremble with emotion as testimonies of slavery and abolition echo through the courtroom. On the Civil War battlefield, a maelstrom of cannon fire and rifle shots engulfs Union and Confederate soldiers in a brutal dance of death. Amid the carnage, the air hangs heavy with the cries of the wounded and the acrid stench of gunpowder, as smoke obscures the brutal reality of brother against brother. In stark contrast to the fight for unity, haunting visions emerge, portraying enslaved people toiling under the yoke of oppression, their spirits unbroken despite the chains that bind them. The juxtaposition of the battlefield's fury and the fields of forced labor underscores the undeniable truth. A nation divided fights for freedom while denying it to its own. A solemn hush descends upon the room, pregnant with the weight of history as dust motes dance in sunlit shafts. Faces etched with gravity gather around the mahogany table, bearing witness to the monumental decision. In a moment, suspended in time, anticipation hangs heavy as a weathered hand reaches for a quill, poised to inscribe destiny. Amidst the remnants of a shattered past, new schools rise and integrated communities slowly emerge, weaving a tapestry of hope and uncertainty. Former slaves stride forward as free men and women, their gazes reflecting a poignant blend of hope and trepidation. The South grapples with the weight of its past, forging a new world from the ashes of a bygone era. A memorial site stands in solemn tribute to the victims of slavery, its monuments etched with the echoes of history. Dignified attendees gather in respectful attire, their presence a poignant reminder of the past. The air is thick with reflection as sunlight filters through the trees, weaving a tapestry of light and shadow across the site. In the heart of the marketplace, human lives are reduced to mere commodities, bought and sold amidst the clamor of bartering and the cries of despair. The economic engine of Greece roars to life, fueled by the sweat and tears of the enslaved, their toil a silent testament to the stark social divide. Free citizens haggle over prices, oblivious to the suffering that sustains their prosperity, their voices a discordant symphony of privilege and indifference. Under the scorching Roman sun, gladiators engage in a deadly ballet of survival. Slaves, bathed in sweat and dust, tirelessly construct Rome's architectural wonders. The air vibrates with the symphony of clashing steel and the relentless rhythm of construction. A bustling Viking settlement pulsates with the raw energy of conquest as longboats crowd the shore, fresh from the spoils of war. Amidst the victorious clamor, the faces of the conquered bear the silent scars of despair, their spirits crushed under the weight of forced servitude. Viking warriors stride through the settlement, their bodies marked by battle, their eyes reflecting the brutal price of victory. Under the vast sky of medieval Europe, endless fields bear witness to the stark reality of serfdom. Bent backs and weary souls paint a somber picture of coerced labor as serfs toil under the stern gaze of overseers. Each swing of the scythe and turn of the soil echoes the silent cries of a people bound by the feudal system. In the heart of the Ottoman Empire, a vibrant marketplace pulsates with the stark reality of the slave trade. The air crackles with the hushed whispers of merchants, their words weaving a tapestry of human commodification. In stark contrast, the lavish harem gleams, its beauty concealing the gilded cage where elegantly dressed women move with practiced grace. Their practiced smiles and graceful movements mask the underlying truth: beauty as a commodity, freedom sacrificed for gilded bars. Coastal villages, once bustling with life, now stand as silent witnesses to the countless souls lost to the cruel currents of history. The relentless sun beats down on the trade routes, where the echoes of sorrow and suffering linger in the very earth. In ancient China, a montage begins, revealing the myriad forms of servitude that defined an era. Historical reenactments bring to life the plight of indentured servants, their faces etched with the weight of their burdens. Illustrative depictions weave a vivid tapestry of servitude, from the opulent courts to the humble fields. The montage seamlessly blends reenactments with illustrations, painting a poignant portrait of ancient Chinese society. Under the relentless sun of pre-Columbian America, a vibrant civilization thrives, its societal tapestry woven with ingenuity and resilience. Clothed in the colors of their heritage, workers move with rhythmic precision, their chants echoing through the air, a symphony of labor and life. Each tool, each garment, tells a story of innovation and adaptation, as the people mold their world with skillful hands and unwavering spirit. Within the hallowed halls of the European Museum, echoes of a somber past resonate through displays dedicated to the history of slavery. Historical objects, encased in glass, stand as silent witnesses to the atrocities and resilience of a dark era. Soft lighting veils the artifacts, urging reverence and contemplation amidst the stark reminders of inhumanity. In an era veiled in antiquity, a montage unveils the dark, sprawling stain of slavery across ancient civilizations. From the ziggurats of Mesopotamia to the pyramids of Egypt, the echoes of forced labor resonate through time. The glory of Greece and the grandeur of Rome are built upon the backs of the enslaved, their silent screams lost in the annals of history. In the heart of Rome, the Colosseum rises as a monument to power, its foundations cemented with the blood and tears of countless souls. Before the shadows of the transatlantic slave trade descended, Africa flourished in a vibrant montage of bustling villages and lively marketplaces. The heart of African society pulses with energy as vendors and customers converge in busy marketplaces, their voices a symphony of commerce and culture. In a blaze of color and rhythm, cultural events erupt with music, dance, and elaborate costumes, celebrating the rich tapestry of African heritage. Across ancient maps, animated lines blaze a trail, charting the haunting routes of the Arab and European slave trades. Visuals of ship movements mark the routes across continents and oceans, hinting the scale of human suffering. Each line and movement, a silent scream echoing through the annals of time, marking an era of profound injustice and human agony. Cramped within the bowels of slave ships, bodies press against bodies, an ocean of despair where life and hope are smothered. Disease and desperation intertwine, painting a grim tableau of human suffering and shattered dignity. Each breath drawn is a testament to resilience, yet every moment carries the weight of unspeakable hardship.